Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your August 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Now, I want to apologize for my voice. I am getting over the flu, so bear with me. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Scorpio, August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Fantastic. Scorpio, August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Scorpio, August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Scorpio. I feel like that goes there. There we go. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. Scorpio, August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have here the Wheel of Fortune, so great change coming in. And we have the Tower. Things are shaken up, and there is no way around it. What roots us at this time is going to be change, and it's a change that we might not feel as comfortable with as maybe we want to, or maybe we think we should, but it's a change that's coming. It's a change that divinity has been guiding us towards for quite some time. We then have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. We're going to be working very diligently, but this is going to be very private. We don't want everybody to see everything, and that's going to be very much a part of who we are during this time. Not showy, not flashy. Then in our hearts, we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, the Three of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Working together, pieces coming together because of collaborations. And the Nine of Swords, excuse me, there's a sense of worry, there's a sense of fear, but there's also this sense of tremendous power around us if we let go. If we let go of our own minds and our own preconceived notions. In our public arena, we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. We have the Seven of Wands, which is preparing for battles, like choosing the right tool, right? And then we have the Nine of Wands, which is things have been more difficult than we wanted them to be. And it's around our passion. It's around what we desire. And there's a sense of can I fall in love with life again? Like, can I fall in love with my dreams and my aspirations and what I desire and where I want to be after so many moments that have shaken me, so many moments that have redefined me? How many times can I be redefined? Now, if we have Virgo within our chart, if we have, well, Virgo within our chart, in our natal chart, this is going to very much affect our personal lives, our inner selves. If we have the Hierophant within our natal chart, this is going to be very much effective within our hearts, our emotional selves. We're going to find ourselves really wanting and craving stability, but also sensuality. And for a Scorpio, we're sensual to begin with. So embracing sensuality in this steady kind of earthly expression of self is going to be something very beneficial. And then we have the lovers, Gemini energy. So if we have Gemini energy within our natal chart, this is going to come out in the public arena. We're going to be very good at talking. We're going to be very good at, pulling words together. And we can kind of almost talk ourselves out of any situation, but we can also talk ourselves into believing things or trusting people that we might have thought, oh, I shouldn't trust them or I shouldn't believe in them. But we have to be very mindful of what we talk ourselves into and the words that we're using to describe certain things, because it's either going to put us off things or really make us attracted to certain things, where if we step back and we stop thinking about what everybody else wants, we stop thinking about, what looks good, and we start really thinking about what do I want, the game is going to change. The game is going to change and we will find ourselves to be hyperly empowered during this time. So let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. What is the energy that Scorpio needs to be mindful of? August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And we have the 9 of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is going to be passion. We're going to find ourselves very easily caught up in passion. And while I was shuffling the cards and meditating upon you, Scorpio, Spirit said, be very mindful of who you see as the underdog during this time, which I thought was just very interesting. So during this period, we have this sense of, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you reach your full potential. With the King of Wands, there is very much a sense of power. And we'll see this power, we'll see this spark within people and say, I want you to achieve this. I want to pull you out of the darkness. And Scorpio, because we're Scorpios live in the darkness. We are going to find it very easy to say and to see how to step out of it, how to step into the light and how to step back into the shadow. And that's a transition that is very natural for us. For fire sign energies, this is not a transition that is natural for them. Now, if we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, or if we have strong fire sign energy within us, we might understand that struggle a bit more. But this is going to be a time where we have to be really cognizant of other people's struggles and kind of stepping back and saying, I'll lend you a hand. I'll help you, most definitely. But I can't pull you out of shadow because I myself never fully walk out of the shadows myself. I walk in this world in the in-between. And that's going to be something that people are going to want to use against us. But it's actually one of our greatest gifts. If we can understand that the in-between, the layers, the complexity, the kind of, darker humor, the truth of things, and the weight of things has an intrinsic importance to us, and it might not have that same importance to others. That's okay. That's okay. And we need to be very, very mindful of people pulling us into either too much light or too much dark. And for a Scorpio, it's just not going to be the balance that we need. So I hope that makes sense. Excuse me. Let's look at our chakra energy. What is the chakra energy for Scorpio? August 16th to the 31st, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Clarity. This is the third eye chakra. Things are going to become clear. Things are going to be revealed to us if we trust in our third eye, if we trust in what we see but isn't actually seen. We trust in our intuition. We trust in our, powerful self. We're going to see things evolve in a way that surprises us. And that surprise, that sense of clarity, that sense of, I'm going to listen to that little voice inside of me that we've been taught to ignore as time goes on. I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to, embrace what I desire from life and move forward with a clarity for me. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, but if it makes things clearer for me, if it unfolds things for me, that's what I need. And it brings us to the Wheel of Fortune. It brings us to this place of change during this time at our roots, at what's grounding us for this time is change. And it's a powerful change. It's a change of seasons, but it's also a change that we cannot hold back even if we wanted to. This is a change brought on by divinity. This is a change that shakes us to our core, that has us looking at things differently, even if it's a change for the better. This doesn't have to be something catastrophic. It's just simply powerful change. And sometimes that powerful change comes when you're standing in your kitchen, asking for guidance, and divinity talks to you and says, remember the joy that you once had. Remember the beauty you once followed. Remember what it is that was dear to you before everything else got in the way. And it could be a powerful change that takes you back to that person that you were. Not exactly the same, because we can never walk in the same footsteps. But it takes us back to that person that we were before life got complicated, before dreams got demolished, before hurts and pains became so much more real than anything else. And so here, we're embracing change, and it doesn't have to be a negative change, but it is going to be an earth-shaking change. It is going to be a change that kind of, instead of, those wind dials that we have on top of houses, and you know how sometimes they can just spin, and then they point a certain way? It's like we find that way to point. It's kind of like when a compass just spins and spins and spins, and then it finds its north. We find our true north. We find our way forward. We find our center and our star. And that leads us to seeing that all the hard work, all the discipline, all the dedication, all the creating, it hasn't been for nothing. It has been for something astoundingly powerful, astoundingly passionate. It has been to learn what is beautiful for us and what isn't, what is right and what is wrong. And that sounds so simple. When I was very, very little, I always thought it's so much easier to know what you're not good at, right? Because everybody tells you, oh, you're not really talented at that, or oh, don't do that. Or you see, compared to people who are really talented, it's like, oh, I'm not that good there or there. But to know what you really, really want and to not let other people dissuade you, that's a hard thing. To have that courage to say, I might not be the best artist now, but if I practice, I'll get there. I might not be the best writer now, but if I practice, I get there. I might not be the best at math now, but if I practice, I get there. And that's what we're going to see here. What are we putting our time into, and why? What have we been practicing without even realizing it? What has divinity set us up? What are the hurdles that we've had to overcome? What are the times in our lives where we sit there and go, oh, wow, that was a really bad decision that I made. And oh my goodness, I can't believe I said that, or I can't believe I did that, or I can't believe I escalated it to that level. Why? And what are we creating because of it? What have we learned because of it? How has it changed us? If it hasn't changed us, then it hasn't done anything. But it has. And that's what the Eight of Pentacles is. The Eight of Pentacles is the hard work. It's the dedication. It's the molding and the crafting of our own lives. It's making the pentacles, making the coins, making the art, and having it fail, having it not come out right, having the master craftsman look at it and say, not yet. I always think of Da Vinci when I see this card, Leonardo da Vinci. And he was, a student under this master painter. And he would have to do the outlines, and the master painter would come in and do the big pieces, but all the little, mindless work that was done to the underlings. And one day, I don't know if this is true or not, but his artwork surpassed that his master craftsman could do. And that's when he graduated. That's when he became Da Vinci. And that's kind of like here. What is it that's breaking the mold, that's making us better than the trials, than the tribulations, than the people who knew before us were? And it brings us to the Hermit. This isn't going to be something that's like a bolt of lightning out of the sky. This is going to be something that's a steady, gentle torch that leads us forward. This is going to be something very private, very personal, but very profound. This is going to be something that excels us, that has us looking at things quite differently. The Hermit isn't saying, look at me, look at me. The Hermit is saying, leave me alone. Leave me alone and let me transform. Let me understand. Let me see. Let me connect. And as we do this, we're taking away the aspect of life that in our modern world we seem to value above all else. The look at me, the notice me, the see me. But what if we actually saw ourselves? Not having anybody else hold up a mirror to us, not having anybody else know our name, but having us fully understand and see who we are and what we've been working towards. It leads us to the Hierophant. As we embrace the Hermit, as we turn inward, as we let the illumination guide us, as we start to see that we can fly and we can change and we can evolve, the Hermit, the Hierophant comes into play with the Hermit and says, but this is what's intrinsically important to me. This is what I cannot walk away from. And this is where I was born to stand. This is what I desire. With our hearts, in our inner self, it's like we're seeing what we're creating, but in our hearts, we have to know what's true. There are some things that are just true for us. It's kind of like our favorite colors. Like, well, your favorite color might change, but it's something that's just true. It's kind of like, I like tea over everything else. I will take a cup of tea if I'm stressed, if I, need to unwind, if I'm having a really good day, anything. If I can have a cup of tea, that's what I will gravitate towards. What's our truth? Is it a warm cup of tea? Is it, ice cream? Is it sunshine? Is it snow? What is it that we gravitate towards? And it can be something abstract. It's kind of like I gravitate towards pink. But why? Is it happiness? Is it childhood? Is it laughter? Is it freedom? What is it that we gravitate towards and why? What is it that we want and why? What is it that our soul is craving? And just let yourself ask that question. Let yourself open to that meditation. What is it that my soul is craving and why? And let me open to that greater understanding, that passion, that development, that insight, that beauty. And let me follow it. Let me move forward in it, because there are pieces here. And we tend to think that, these 3 shards are held by different people. And they do not have to be. These 3 shards can be held by us. Our past self, our present self, our future self. The child that we were, the adult, the, maiden mother crone, the child, the adult, and the wisdom. How do we hold these pieces? How do we come together? What is it that we desire, want, need, understand? What is it that we work towards? What part of ourselves are we calling forward? And how have we worked together to put these pieces together when we haven't even known it? When at times it feels like we only have resentment from where we came from, or from the path that we had to walk, or from the mistakes that we have made. And we don't see the future. We just have questions, heartbreaks, pains, disappointments. Our heart is saying, how do I come together in all the aspects of myself? In what was, what is, and what will be? How do I stand in the power that is me? And how do I place these shards together to make a dream, to make a wish, to make a person? A hope and a soul that sings, that shines. And it brings us then to the 9 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords is the nightmare. The 9 of Swords is the doubt and the fear and the chaos and the hurt and the pain and all the swords pointing at us. Naked and vulnerable. With a snake coiled up our arm and a bear behind us. Do we have protection, or is it just fear? Is that bear our salvation? Is that snake our guard? Are those swords our weapons? Or are they weapons being used against us? How is our mind handling all this? What is our heart calling for, and why? What have we been through? What don't we honor that has been hard and devastating and overwhelming? Where do we let people poo-poo us, talk down to us, disgrace us? And why do we let that disgrace become how we see ourselves? This is a time with the 9 of Swords where we look at nightmares and we say, I see you. I see you for the lie. I see you for the hurt. I see you for the pain that you are. For the way that you want to destroy me and how I rise above. And we might dwell in nightmares for a little bit. Every human being does. But will I live there? Will I be pulled down into it? Will I be denied? It leads us to lovers. It leads us to a sense of being able to fall in love with life again, fall in love with ourselves, see in the public arena that there's more than one way to do everything and anything. How do I embrace what I love? How do I honor somebody else's love? How do I embrace ideas and ideals? And how do I move forward in them? What is it that I strive for? Where is it that I want to be? We're embracing love. The coming together of the male and the female, the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, the coming together of strength and nurturing, the coming together of force and will and love and power and understanding and grace, the coming together of forces within us that have to be acknowledged. We are neither just the sacred feminine or just the sacred masculine. We have to be the melding of both. And neither one is solely one thing. The sacred masculine isn't just force and war, and the sacred feminine isn't just nurture and caring. They can be both the opposite. They can be both each other. But how do we build? And what do we see? And how do we embrace the waking world with falling in love with it when we're harming ourselves? When we're deciding, what do I fight for and what don't I? Where do I stand and where do I let things go? What do I desire and what don't I? And as we're coming to these conclusions, we're coming to greater understandings of ourselves as we embrace love, as we look at what we want. We're not going to waste our energy because it's a waste of energy, and we don't have energy to waste. We don't have time to waste during this time period. We want things to achieve, we want things to succeed, we want things to move forward, and we want them to do so brilliantly and forcefully and powerfully. And it moves us then as we start to reserve our energy, as we start to say, this is what I'm fighting and this is what I'm not. We look at what has broken us, what has made us work so much harder, what has, tried to deny us our happiness or our joy or our understanding. And we look at it and we say, I see you. I see you for the imposter that you are. I see you for the blessing that you are. And I see you for everything in between. I see you openly and honestly. I see myself openly and honestly. When I've listened to others instead of listening to the voice inside of me. When I listen to my own ego instead of listening to that voice inside of me. I've been battered and I've been bruised. We can be having headaches. We can feel our body aching. How do we move forward and why? And why does it have to be so hard? Because anything worth having is always going to be hard. And the power of one's own soul and the power of one's own life and the brilliance of one's own self. To truly shine with that power, with that brilliance, with that understanding, that's remarkable. And so the 9 of Wands comes in and makes us work. Makes us work hard and long to stand within our craft, to stand within our power, to stand within our understanding. And it moves us to the subconscious energy that we have to be mindful of, and it's the star. It's letting dreams overpower us. It's letting people use our dreams against us. It's not finding the balance within ourselves, but always looking for the tomorrow to make everything better. And yes, everything might be better tomorrow, but it's because of today, not because of the alluring aspect of the unknown, but it's because of the work and the effort and the time that's put in now. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is the inner child, the heart chakra. Connect with the inner child. I love to do the exercise of visualizing the child that I was, with my arms held open to her, saying, I'm here for you. I embrace you. I love you. And I will stand with you forever and always. I will be that adult that you need, and letting that child run into my arms and not cringing away, not thinking I should have done things differently. I should have been better. No. I was that child that I needed to be when I needed to be it. And I love her, just as you should love the child that you were. Openly, honestly, and without hesitation. It moves us to the subconscious rooted self, which is the magician, as above, so below. As I believe it, so it becomes. It's calling forward magic. It's calling forward, excuse me, the unbelievable. It's empowerment, emboldening. It's determination, focus, dreams, love. As above, so below. As I think it, so it becomes. As I think it, so it manifests within my waking world. It leads us to our subconscious in ourself, which is the Two of Wands reversed. The Two of Wands reversed is saying it's not out there. It's all in here. And that could be the most maddening place to find anything. It's kind of like when you have everything a mess and you're trying to look for something. You're not one of those people who has everything a mess and knows exactly where it is, but you're one of those people who has everything a mess and you're like, oh my goodness, I know I have it, but I don't know where. And here it is looking inside and saying, okay, it's time to start. It's time to start embracing, living, enjoying, loving, becoming. It's time to start. Openly, honestly, powerfully me. It's all within. It's not going to be without. We're going to have the greatest urge to say, oh, it's all out there, because it's so much easier if it's in the great unknown. But it's all going to be inside. Our subconscious heart message is the Tower. Everything changes. Emotionally, we feel it. We feel broken. We feel like we're fighting. We feel like everything that was sacred to us has been tested time and time again. This is a time where we look at the change and we say, this is my root. This is everything that I am and everything that I would be. I see and understand me now and what I desire, what I want, and what I need. The Tower brings forward change. Change of the heart. Change of the soul. Divinity is leading us forward on a journey we may not understand, but it's a powerful one. And it brings us then to our subconscious public arena. And it's the Ten of Cups. It's love. And they all live happily ever after. It's knowing that if I embrace love, love embraces me. If I move forward in love, I will meet darkness as a resistance. I will meet doubt and despair, and I will treat those imposters the same. Just as I will meet triumph, victory, accolade, and treat those imposters just the same. I will love and I will laugh. I will cry and I will despair. But I will move towards my heart. I will be in alignment with what is sacred to me on this earth now. And I will embrace love above all else, in the guiding force in my life, in the center of my being. And I will hold it sacred. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the change that is to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio.